Today's story is about the Lambi Dehar Mines, which is located about 10 kilometers from Mall Road in Mussoorie. There used to be lime mines in Lambi Dehar Mines, and it is said that about 5,000 workers died in Lambi Dehar Mines due to cough blood. Since this incident, people living here hear a lot of crying and screaming sounds from this mine, and people also feel souls here, and especially many people have seen witches here. Not only this, many car accidents happened here. There was also a helicopter accident. Many people living here believe that there is definitely shadow of those who died here, and they also say there are mines too. People also believe that there is a shadow of a witch here specifically. Nowadays, many people come here and write their names on the walls of mines. To be honest, many movies and TV series have been shot here for many years, but still many people have experienced a lot of negative feelings here. One of these stories is of Manvi. Manvi is one of those people who went there to roam, but one evening she experienced some negative feelings here, and maybe because of that negative feelings, that soul came with her to her home. Hi, my name is Manvi, and I'm from Dehradun. This story is based on true incident. This is the story of the time of lockdown. Before the lockdown was imposed, our college had a week off and my friend lived quite far away. So she didn't go to her home. But all the students of the apartment where she lived had gone to their respective homes. Let me tell you one thing, that apartment was only for the students. She was afraid to stay there alone. So she called me there to stay with her. When we were living there, we got a notice from our college. College holidays have been extended. I told her to go back to her home, but she didn't listen to me. His family was financially weak. She felt that since she had already paid the rent for the apartment, why not stay here? And it would be much more expensive in traveling and other things too. My frequent talks made her feel that maybe I don't want to stay with her, and I'm making an excuse to go back home by saying it over and over. Because of this, she started fighting with me, and even after the fight, I stayed with her. Soon the days passed, and one day on Saturday, we went to visit Lambi Dehar Mines. The place is quite famous in Dehradun because it is haunted. When we were at Dehar Mines in the evening, we had another fight. We were both shouting at each other very loudly and calling each other bad names. We were sitting under a tree at that time. My friend started crying under a tree. At first, I didn't understand why she was doing this because she was arguing with me earlier. Then I realized that she understands me as a best friend, and we have been fighting for several days, so she might have felt bad about it. It was completely deserted jungle and mountainous area. I didn't think of anything and started crying under the same tree because my friend had left me in anger and had gone ahead to the road. Then suddenly fog started to appear and I could not even see the things around me. At first I was scared, but later I realized that it was normal because such weather is common in mountains. Then I ran away from there very quickly because it was going to be dark. Then we got on our scooty and left for our apartment. The next day, 22nd March 2020, there was a curfew. That night at around 2:45 am, I woke up and I felt my body was very heavy. I felt like I could not handle my own weight. My whole body was very hot. My head was very heavy and I could not sleep. As soon as I closed my eyes, I saw the tree and the place where we had gone the day before. I was very scared and could not say anything. Somehow I fell asleep till 5 am, then I woke up at 11 am. I was completely fine. That night again around 2:30 am, I started to feel feverish again. My body became very heavy again, and after closing my eyes, I saw the same tree and the place again. Now, having fever, heavy head, and seeing the same tree and the place after closing my eyes and waking up late in the morning, it had become a normal routine for me. Initially, I didn't pay much attention to it, but it started happening to me every day. I told the whole thing to my friend. She said, maybe you have got cold, so that's why your body temperature is rising. She said as if she was worried about me. If it happens to you tonight too, wake me up. But she didn't have idea about my high fever that I could not even speak. I could not even make a sound from my mouth. I was really too scared because it was happening with me from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. I could not even go home because of the lockdown. I was going through all these things. Then that night, a girl came to her room. She was my friend's roommate. She and three other girls lived in one BHK flat. The other three had gone home. Suddenly, one of them came to her room and took some things and left. She didn't talk or look at us. My friend and I were sitting on the chairs and watching all of this. She was behaving quite strangely. Then my friend asked her, "Where are you going and where are you coming from?" She didn't say anything and left from there. Then we started talking about her. Then I thought, how did she come here from so far away in the lockdown? My friend called her and asked her how she got here. The girl said on the call that she was at her home. We were both surprised because she had left just half an hour ago and her house was about 150 kilometers away. We talked to her on the video call and also talked to her mother. After seeing her at home on video call, we were quite frightened. We were both in the bad condition due to fear, but still we fell asleep by 2 a.m. But at 2:45, I woke up again. All those things happened to me that had been happening to me for the past 6 days. I could not move my body. My head was feeling very heavy. I believe in God, so I read all the mantras that I knew. Then I fell asleep. I woke up at 9 a.m. I told my parents everything that had happened to me. My father made a pass for me and my friend and took us home. My house was about 10 kilometers from my friend's flat. In Uttarakhand, we believe in gods and ghosts a lot. That night, a jaggery was held at our house. My parents were told I had done something wrong at the wrong place. I should not have danced, screamed, cried, or spit, or with perfume on. So that's why somebody's evil eye fell on me. These spirits can't just go into somebody's body, so the spirit tried to come into my body every night. And at night, these spirits have more power. That day, the girl who came into our room was not my friend's friend. She took my hair and my black t-shirt from her room that day. Because of this, she wanted to get into my body. I know that everyone must have this question in their mind that how does the ghost know that those hair and those clothes are mine? I asked the same question to the priest. He said that every human has their own smell, so they reach that person by smelling it. That night, we had kept a puja and I was not allowed to go out for 3 days. After that, I was completely fine, but I can't forget this incident. So thank you so much for listening this story.